Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering the final training exercise at the September 2020 semester of One Shepherd in CMTC, Missouri. For the final training exercise, I was picked to be the patrol leader, and I was lucky enough to have my good friend Brent0331 as my APL. And this is what happened on our mission. The brief synopsis is, in the beginning, we were tasked with being a defensive element. Our force, the SLDF, had moved north into the territory of the Taji Sword because we were getting tired of their cross-border raids. My mission was to patrol between two outposts and keep out LPOPs in lines of communication and patrol the area heavily. What you're about to see are dispatches I recorded during the FTX. Alright, so the FTX is kicked off at One Shepherd. It's been a very busy time. So busy fact that this is Friday morning and I had no chance to shoot any video for Thursday. So our mission was to establish a security zone north of our country's border. And we've done that. We're about a 200 meter deep by roughly 700 meter wide zone that I have a squad size element to secure. I was given tasks of having security and patrolling aggressively in the area. We have chosen to do that by establishing a patrol base and putting out two LPOPs connected by TA1 landlines. We did that last night, or yesterday afternoon, and prior to evening we converted those LPOPs over to ambushes for the evening. We know the enemy was in the area for two reasons. One, our landlines were getting cut, which was an advertisement they were here. The other thing that we know is that we had one of our patrols en route back from one of the listening posts get hit by a 7-man element. Obviously they're outnumbered, but they did inflict casualties. Later on that evening, approximately 2200, our Bravo squad engaged, a 3-man squad engaged a significant sized element, reports 4 enemy KIA, so successful ambush. Our Alpha squad is out on the north-south MSR at the very edge of our AO. They reported seeing unidentified personnel plus 2 confirmed enemy reconnaissance patrols. As dawn came, an expected attack did not materialize, which was rather surprising. So at that point, I have the APL working with the bulk of our Charlie team to re-establish wire comms with our Bravo position, which is in between us and the Alpha position. Bravo has been last to come up on comms, and it's been the most problematic. Alpha, being the farthest away, has actually just re-established communications with us via landline, which is good as we've been out of comms via radio, and it's been hard to maintain contact with them. Our intentions for the rest of the day is to keep patrolling aggressively, and should we make enemy contact, deal with it appropriately. We're expecting a change of orders sometime in the afternoon, probably around 1500, and we'll adjust our plan based on what those orders become.
We were doing our normal rat line patrol. We found a split in the wire for the furthest LPOP. We repaired that, and then we kept pushing down. We ran into Peng, who's the team leader there, and we coordinated with him and setting up an L-shaped ambush. So essentially, the old LPOP is going to be the long leg of the L, and then 2 other of his guys. He's got a team of 4. 2 other of his guys are going to make a short leg in some vegetation. Peng has seen a total of 3 recon patrols, like 3 personnel.
Yeah, he relayed that to us.
Yeah, 2 different occasions. Come down that road unscathed, right? So that's like a total of 3 or 4 times that they've done that. So my suspicion is there thinking that we don't have any eyes on the road because we haven't touched them. Right?
Yeah.
They come through the woods, and we've opened up on them and killed them.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that they push a large force down that road, thinking that we're not watching it, and they'll run right in and bang.
Yeah.
Should sound pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Good plan. Tell me what's happening at Romeo.
Romeo, they've pushed off their original spot. There's an opening back about 50 meters or so from where they were, and they found like snail trails going in there. Like they think they made that a ORP at some point. Essentially, the mud trail leads right up to it.
Okay.
But they didn't make it to the mud trail last night.
Yeah.
They stopped short because we felt the wire was cut.
Yeah.
Which ended up being the right call. But they found the mud trail leads to that opening, so they're going to set up an ambush on that.
Okay.
Both teams are doing like a rest cycle so that they can get some shut eye.
Okay. What's their water situation out there?
They're both good for now. Pang says he's good till noon. Red says about the same. I'm thinking, if not the next patrol, maybe 2 from now, we'll push out, we'll carry a jug, and we'll hit both positions and top them off.
Okay.
I finally ran out of radio batteries though, so I don't know what you guys are looking like, but if I'm running out, mine's been going constantly.
I've been keeping mine off. When I sent the Missouri militia guys out with you, I told them to keep their radio off unless you split them off or they became separated.
Okay.
So we're good on battery conservation here. So you can take my spares.
Once we get a couple more batteries and maybe a water jug expended, we need to start thinking about a resupply.
Yeah, that's on my radar.
And maybe some ammo too, because those 2 teams have had some significant fire. Well, Red's team has had some significant firefights.
What's their ammo situation?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
All right. All right. So, I've just gone out on a maintenance patrol where we did some logistics work for our outlying ambushes and LPOPs. We dropped off water, got them some food, and came back to base. Now, what's happening is we've just been probed. We think, since they only came in, fired off a couple bursts and ran away, that it was a baited ambush. So now Brent's gone out with a fighting patrol, and he's going out to the 2 ambushes to collect up their dead batteries so we can get a resupply. He's also going to collect up all the wire that's been cut up. Those of us back here are just waiting to see what the enemy does.
All right, Peel. Here's a frago. Your next mission.
Okay.
The friendly situation is we have multiple observation posts running security patrols at the border. The enemy recent increase in Taji Sword security patrols may indicate renewed combat action. The environment, good weather and nighttime visibility for continued observation of the enemy. Mission, 1st Platoon, 1st Troop, 10th Cav Brigade will conduct Ambrew.
Hold on a
Yep,
second.
sure.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to hand this sheet to you, if that
Oh,
helps.
okay,
But if
cool.
you want to pick your pertinent stuff, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. 1st Platoon, 1st Troop, 10th Cav Brigade. That's you. Will conduct ambush operations in NAI Engine, named Area of Interest Engine, with particular attention to the southernmost portion from 1600 hours today till 1100 hours tomorrow. Commander's intent. 1st Troop Commander intends a demonstration of combat power by conducting ambushes deeper within enemy territory and thereby discourage further enemy infiltration efforts in our sector of the border.
Okay.
Here's your map.
Oh.
Right, there's your map with your AO boundaries.
Okay.
So your ROE guidance. Enemy patrols will be met with use of deadly force. Caution, there's civilian out of play, foot traffic, and vehicular traffic along the MSR.
Okay.
Your CAS plan, you will be reinforced for casualties, losses, respawned at the bottom of even numbered hours. No instant respawns.
Okay. So I am to push up into named area of interest engine.
That's where we want you to. That's where we want you to search with particular attention to the south. We want you to conduct ambushes in here, but particular attention to the south. That's the verbiage.
Okay. So particular interest in the southern portion, all the way
Correct.
across, or
Correct.
just the southwest or southeast
All
corners?
the way across.
All the way across. Okay.
Now, if it's not clear, I just want to make it clear that the road is in play, but obviously you've got a minefield, unidentified minefield there. This is most assuredly out of play, just simply not Jason's property, but imagine that's another adjacent unit that is in control of that.
Right.
Okay?
And this is open area here. Any particular significance to these phase lines other than just reportings?
Just reportings if you want to use them.
Roger.
As such, they're convenient terrain features. If you want to use those as you push up, I imagine you'll establish a new position. You're currently right there, and so you can establish a new position basically wherever you want, as long as it's within this territory here. You know, we do expect there's enemy in here, so it might be prudent to set something. Not hand-holding, but I don't know, wherever you would want. Anywhere in here,
Somewhere
in here,
close
somewhere
to the
in
named
there.
area of interest.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
Because we just
Okay.
simply don't know what's in here. We
We don't know, but we are to ambush the enemy.
Correct.
Show of
Ambush
combat-
operations, yep.
Ambush operations for show of combat power.
That is yours to keep.
Thank you. All right. Well, I need to get to planning.
Okay, so I sent my APL Brent out. He took our Bravo team, went forward, reconnoitered a patrol base for us, and put a small team out on LPOB, and then went back, brought our main body to our patrol base. We're in our patrol base. From here, we've planned out our night of ambushes and recon. Our intention is to set a large linear ambush for enemy. However, if our recon can pinpoint their routes of travel, we will adjust our ambush to take advantage of that intelligence. Yeah. Last meal before the fight. Not quite the most inspiring thing I could have seen.
All right, boys and girls. So let's bring you up to date on what's happened. So last night, we set out on our ambush patrols. Brent took one man and did an extensive recon of our area of interest, where I took the main body, set in on a road juncture, and put in basically an L-shaped ambush. From there, we were in the ambush about an hour when we made contact with our Romeo team. Our Romeo team lit the enemy up twice. We have no idea if we got any kills or not. We don't believe we did. We then broke contact and got out. Well, actually, I should say the enemy broke contact. We broke our ambush because it was compromised and headed back to our patrol base. At our patrol base, we awaited for APL Brent to return. When he did, he came back with negative results of his recon. And from that point on, we just rested down and made a new plan to start in the morning. We stepped off at 05:30. And at 05:30, we went to this ambush position here. We were set in a loose L thing so we could cover a road junction, which is up ahead. Up at that road junction, we came in contact with enemy forces. And initially started out with low volume of fire and devolved into a team-on-team fight. And that's where we are now. I have been killed, and now my team leaders are out doing their job. Sounds like they're pressing the enemy as they've moved them back probably about 50 meters from this ambush position. All right, at this stage of the fight, I have been killed and my respawn time has not come up yet. And as a commander, watching what happens next was basically heart-wrenching. What you'll see here is two members of the Op Force sneaking up on a member of my team. And the member of my team is so focused on the fight in front of him, he does not see himself getting flanked. And it was soul-crushing as a commander because I was there, I couldn't do anything about it. I was technically dead, and dead men tell no tales. But this is a tough one to watch, but it's also an important lesson about situational awareness and keeping your head on a swivel even in the fight.
PCP on me!
You got guys on the left flank.
PCP on me!
All right, now this is a scene that brought my spirits back up. I've just watched one of my guys get flanked and taken out of the fight, a very low point. But then I look over to my right and I see Brent arriving with Papa Team. To review our plan that we had was that coming off the night ambush and then having patrol come up with really no information, we just replicated the plan in the morning, except the night patrol was beefed up from 2 men to a full fire team plus Brent. And we had the plan that if either side made contact, the other force would march to the sound of enemy guns. We got into the fight and Brent came without a radio call, without any signaling. He just came and arrived in the fight at the right time to help us keep pushing on. So as our fight wrapped up, it became just a force-on-force melee, not your traditional ambush. And this was mainly because what would have been an ambush with them walking into our kill zone was triggered by our security element, seeing them coming down the woods next to the road, not in the woods. So it was more of a meeting engagement, and it was multiple forces of meeting engagement. While we were deployed in the linear ambush along the road, our northern security element started off the fight and was holding the enemy at bay, got 2 kills very quickly. I then took the Missouri militia team and we started to flank and ran into a secondary enemy force. And that battle seemed to peter out with us trading casualties 1 for 1. Then the enemy started to mass on our Romeo team, but then Brent arrived in time right after that, and it ended up when the fight was over, each side just had 3 to 4 guys each left. Kind of an attrition meeting fight, and at that point both sides were kind of spent in their combat power, and that's when the OCs decided to go ahead and call the FTX over at that point. We hope you've enjoyed this coverage of the One Shepherd Fall semester at CMTC out in Missouri. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for more One Shepherd coverage.